Hey guys, welcome to Experience Design. Today we're going to talk about best practices. As a designer, why should I care? When do I use them? How will they help me to enhance the experience in my design for my customers? So they're really about taking the time to research the best way to do something. You can learn about what to do, not what to do, based on accumulative knowledge and experiences that others have shared over time. They evolve as new and better solutions are found due to advanced technology, regulation changes, human behavior, etc. Right? So once you have these best practices, why reinvent the wheel instead of just referencing them? Right? They don't necessarily tell you how to solve a problem, but they will help you to know what to solve for. So I want us to look at some examples that I will share with you shortly. So guys, I want us to look at an example that was designed by a junior designer, and she had to design a cookie policy without using the best practices. And this is what she came up with. Okay, it's basically a site where you go and to learn about health and wellness, and basically this is what you'll see. And this thing is blocking my view. I can't really see the page. I can't even read it properly, right? I have to think about what options are good for me when I look at this like cookie settings. It's a bit difficult for me to understand, and I don't have the time to go through everything. I'm in a hurry. I just want to quickly get the content and move on with my life. So I'm wondering, right, if I were to click like, save preferences, how will I update these options once they're saved? So this is the first iteration. And then now the question was, if I were to get best practices, right, how would I go about? So basically, so she had to go to Google, type cookie policy best practices, and I'm going to show you a quick example, right? So it's as simple as firing, Chrome, okay, and you just type cookie best practices, you get your results, and you basically click on different like websites, you do your research, and then see which information seems to be relevant, and also what matters to you, right? You can compile a list of practices and decide on what's relevant, right? So that's basically it, right? At the end of that exercise, you end up with a certain number of best practices, and in this case, right, we've got something that says it shouldn't prevent the user from accessing the content on the page. That's something that I experienced. Make sure that the placement is done properly on the page, and there's explicit consent, and you must provide flexible options. Call to actions must be clear, and so forth. Okay. Now after doing that, right, this is the second iteration. Okay, cool. I come here, I can see the page, I can read a bit, but I can see half of it. Okay, still a lot of like content for me to read, and it's a bit difficult to understand still. And I still have the same question: where would I find these cookie settings if I need to change them once I accept them? Okay, so that was the second iteration, right? And now the question was, can we enhance this experience, right, by looking at design principles, progressive disclosure, applying minimalistic design, also looking at something called design with data, right, which is basically about making data driven decision. Question is, if you look at the 80% of the times, right, what do people do, right? If you focus on that and then you forget about 80 about the 20%, right? Have clear inclusive content and so forth. So after doing that, let's see how the design looks like. Cool. I'll show you that in a second. Now, same design. Let me browse. Okay, cool. I can easily browse the site. I can understand the value of the cookies, because they say improve browsing experience, enhance site navigation, and so forth, right? very clear, concise, straight to the point, and so forth. I can see that I can easily, accept the cookies and move on with my life. So now let's actually do a bit of a summary. How did this design evolve, right? This was the first version. You can see according to March, this was second iteration after the best practices, and then this was the third iteration after applying design principles. So where do I begin? So in our design delivery process, right, uh, the question is, when is the right time? If we busy exploring under the ideate phase, right, and we're playing with some options, and this is after understanding the requirements from the business stakeholders, right, we can ask ourselves, okay, sharp, now that we've understood what the ask is, what are the best possible ways, right? We can do our research, look at different brands. Maybe you can do experience analysis. You can check our wonderful videos. We talk a lot about that. We can do community analysis and so forth, right? And once you've looked at these different brands, and how would you pick the best experience, right? This is when the best practices come in, right? So how simple is it? It's really, again, right, you just fire Google. I'm gonna show you a few examples. Basically, I'm gonna type, let's say, security questions. Oops, not Showmax. Security questions, right? Same thing, I can click on different sites, read and see what's relevant and so forth, right? I could, let me just open another browser. I could research something about, let's say, product detail page, right? Maybe I want to sell products online. I can do that. I can research, read on information on different websites, compile information at the end of the day. That's basically it. So at the end of the day, right, you have to decide what's relevant and what is useful. You can even discuss those best practices amongst your team. Let's look at some few examples. First one is a success screen. This is very common. Whether you're buying, sneakers online, there's, you go through some number of steps. At the end, you'll get a message that says, "Awesome! Now you've paid. Your sneakers will be delivered. In the next 2 working days, etc." Right? And yeah, so the question is, how best can you design that screen, right? What are those best practices? What are those guidelines, right? Drawing attention to the results, make sure that a person knows that they're done, giving information and proof that they're complete with their buy journey, right, and so forth. Other one is about security questions, right? If you wanted to stop, like, people, well, actually, well, not stop, but if you wanted to encourage people to do a self-service, where if they've locked their account, they want to unlock it digitally online, right, by themselves, you can ask them some questions. But what are the good questions to ask, right? um that's where these best practices come in. They must be safe, stable, memorable, simple, etc., right? You can actually pause at this stage of the video to read about the details. Then there's product detail. If you're selling stuff online, right? It could be like insurance products, funeral cover, retirement, solution that you want to buy, or it could be something as simple as buying a burger from McDonald's or maybe Nando's, etc. Right? Again, what are those, like, good practices, right? You need to follow, making sure that your product images are clear, big enough, and you articulate the details of the products, and so forth. You can read, just pause a bit when you get to the stage. Anyways, these are just like some of the few examples that I thought I could share with you guys. So guys, why best practices are important? Why should you care as a designer? When you do community analysis or brand experience analysis, you can better judge which experience is the best, or which micro journeys are the best, based on the best practices. They serve as a good measure of how good your design is. As I said earlier, they don't necessarily tell you how to solve a problem, but you will know what to solve for. I really hope that helps. Thanks. Hey, cool looking designers. We cover a wide range of latest design content that will help you to be a kick-ass designer in 2022. Check out our channel and subscribe. Let me know if this channel is useful to you. If you found this content to be useful, hit the like button. If you have a topic you want me to cover, just leave a comment below. Thanks.